What is the primary source of energy in most ecosystems? A. Water. B. Sunlight. C. Soil. D. Wind. The correct answer is B. Sunlight is the primary source of energy in most ecosystems, which is captured by plants during photosynthesis. Which of the following is an example of a decomposer in an ecosystem? A. Rabbit. B. Wolf. C. Mushroom. D. Deer. The correct answer is C. Mushrooms are decomposers that break down dead organic matter in an ecosystem. The process by which nutrients are passed between different trophic levels in an ecosystem is known as A. Photosynthesis. B. Decomposition. C. Nutrient cycling. D. Energy flow. The correct answer is C. Nutrient cycling is the process by which nutrients are passed between different trophic levels in an ecosystem. Which of the following best describes a food chain? A. A network of interconnected food chains. B. The flow of energy through different trophic levels in an ecosystem. C. The movement of organisms from one habitat to another. D. The sequence of organisms through which energy is transferred in an ecosystem. The correct answer is D. A food chain is the sequence of organisms through which energy is transferred in an ecosystem, starting with a producer. Which of the following is not a primary consumer in a food chain? A. Rabbit. B. Grasshopper. C. Deer. D. Wolf. The correct answer is D. A wolf is not a primary consumer in a food chain, because it's a secondary or tertiary consumer. What is the process by which water evaporates from plant leaves called? A. Transpiration. B. Precipitation. C. Runoff. D. Infiltration. The correct answer is A. Transpiration is the process by which water evaporates from plant leaves, contributing to the water cycle. Which of the following is a greenhouse gas involved in the carbon cycle? A. Methane. B. Oxygen. C. Nitrogen. D. Hydrogen. The correct answer is A. Methane is a greenhouse gas involved in the carbon cycle, contributing to climate change. How do detritivores contribute to nutrient cycling in an ecosystem? A. By consuming dead organic matter and releasing nutrients back into the soil. B. By photosynthesizing and producing oxygen. C. By predating on other organisms. D. By contributing to the water cycle. The correct answer is A. Detritivores consume dead organic matter, breaking it down and releasing nutrients back into the soil, thus contributing to nutrient cycling in an ecosystem. Which of the following is a primary producer in an aquatic ecosystem? A. Seal. B. Algae. C. Shark. D. Fish. The correct answer is B. Algae are primary producers in aquatic ecosystems, converting sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. What is the term for the total mass of living organisms in a given area or ecosystem? A. Biodiversity. B. Biomass. C. Ecosystem services. D. Habitat loss. The correct answer is B. Biomass is the total mass of living organisms in a given area or ecosystem, often used to measure energy flow and nutrient cycling. What is the role of a consumer in an ecosystem? A. To produce energy for the ecosystem. B. To decompose organic matter. C. To consume other organisms for energy. D. To produce oxygen through photosynthesis. The correct answer is C. Consumers in an ecosystem obtain energy by consuming other organisms, thus helping in energy flow and nutrient cycling. What is the main function of a detritivore in an ecosystem? A. To produce food for other organisms. B. To decompose dead organic matter. C. To regulate the population of primary consumers. D. To provide shelter for primary producers. The correct answer is B. Detritivores play a vital role in breaking down dead organic matter into smaller particles, helping with nutrient cycling. Which of the following is an example of a secondary consumer in a food chain? A. Herbivore. B. Carnivore. C. Decomposer. D. Producer. The correct answer is B. Secondary consumers eat primary consumers. They get their energy from them. Which of the following is not a part of the water cycle? A. Evaporation. B. Decomposition. C. Precipitation. D. Transpiration. The correct answer is B. Decomposition is not a step in the water cycle. It's a process that breaks down organic matter. What role do primary producers play in an ecosystem? A. To break down organic matter. B. To regulate the population of consumers. C. To convert sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. D. To decompose inorganic substances into nutrients. The correct answer is C. Primary producers convert sunlight into energy through photosynthesis, forming the base of the ecosystem's food chain. Which of the following is a key process in the phosphorus cycle? A. Uptake of phosphorus by plants. B. Volatilization of phosphorus from soil. C. Oxidation of phosphorus in water bodies. D. Photosynthesis by aquatic organisms. The correct answer is A. Plants absorb phosphorus, a key part of the phosphorus cycle. They bring phosphorus into the ecosystem. What is the primary source of energy for deep-sea hydrothermal vent ecosystems? A. Sunlight. B. Geothermal heat. C. Chemical energy from minerals. D. Wind energy. The correct answer is C. Deep-sea hydrothermal vent ecosystems rely on chemical energy from minerals in the vent fluid. This is their primary energy source, not sunlight. What is the term for the transfer of energy between trophic levels in an ecosystem? A. Energy recycling. B. Energy sourcing. C. Energy allocation. D. Energy flow. The correct answer is D. Energy flow is the term used to describe the transfer of energy between different trophic levels in an ecosystem. Which of the following is an example of a detritivore in an ecosystem? A. Herbivorous fish. B. Vulture. C. Grasshopper. D. Wolf. The correct answer is B. Vulture is an example of a detritivore, as it feeds on dead organisms and organic matter, contributing to nutrient cycling in the ecosystem. What is the process by which carbon is returned to the atmosphere from living organisms and decaying matter? A. Photosynthesis. B. Respiration. C. Transpiration. D. Evaporation. The correct answer is B. Respiration is the process by which carbon is returned to the atmosphere from living organisms and decaying matter, completing the carbon cycle. Which of the following is a consumer in a food chain that primarily feeds on secondary consumers? A. Tertiary consumer. B. Primary consumer. C. Herbivore. D. Detritivore. The correct answer is A. Tertiary consumers eat secondary consumers. This puts them at a higher trophic level. What is the term for the process where bacteria change ammonia into nitrites and nitrates in the nitrogen cycle? A. Nitrification. B. Denitrification. C. Ammonification. D. Nitrogen fixation. The correct answer is A. Nitrification is the process where ammonia is converted into nitrites and nitrates by bacteria. This happens in the nitrogen cycle, making nitrogen available for plants. Which of the following best describes a detritus-based food chain? A. It starts with primary producers and includes primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. B. It begins with detritivores that consume decaying matter and continues with organisms feeding on detritivores. C. It consists of only primary consumers that feed directly on plants. D. It follows a linear path from herbivores to carnivores in an ecosystem. The correct answer is B. A detritus-based food chain starts with detritivores, which consume decaying matter. It continues with organisms feeding on those detritivores. This highlights the importance of decomposers in nutrient cycling. In the phosphorus cycle, what role do decomposers play in releasing phosphorus back into the soil? A. They fix atmospheric phosphorus for plants to use. B. They convert organic phosphorus into inorganic forms. C. They transport phosphorus from the ocean to land ecosystems. D. They provide phosphorus to primary producers through their consumption. The correct answer is B. Decomposers play a role in the phosphorus cycle by converting organic phosphorus from dead organisms into inorganic forms that can be utilized by plants, completing the nutrient cycle. What process in the water cycle moves water through plants and releases it as vapor into the atmosphere? A. Precipitation. B. Transpiration. C. Evaporation. D. Percolation. The correct answer is B. Transpiration is the process by which water moves through plants and is released into the atmosphere as vapor, contributing to the water cycle. What is the term for the process by which plants release water vapor into the atmosphere? A. Transpiration. B. Photosynthesis. C. Evaporation. D. Precipitation. The correct answer is A. Transpiration is the process by which plants release water vapor into the atmosphere through small openings called stomata in their leaves. Which of the following is a key component of the nitrogen cycle that converts nitrites and nitrates back into atmospheric nitrogen? A. Denitrification. B. Ammonification. C. Nitrogen fixation. D. Nitrification. The correct answer is A. Denitrification is the process in the nitrogen cycle where bacteria convert nitrites and nitrates back into atmospheric nitrogen gas. Which of the following is an example of a keystone species in an ecosystem? A. Bees. B. Rabbits. C. Grass. D. Wolves. The correct answer is D. Wolves are considered a keystone species in certain ecosystems due to their significant impact on prey species populations and vegetation. This affects the overall ecosystem structure and function. What is the term for the process by which organic matter is broken down into simpler compounds by bacteria and fungi? A. Decomposition. B. Photosynthesis. C. Assimilation. D. Ammonification. The correct answer is A. Decomposition is the process by which organic matter is broken down into simpler compounds by decomposers like bacteria and fungi, releasing nutrients back into the ecosystem. Which of the following is a primary driver of the nitrogen cycle, responsible for converting atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can use? A. Bacteria. B. Plants. C. Animals. D. Fungi. The correct answer is A. Bacteria are a primary driver of the nitrogen cycle, particularly in nitrogen fixation, where they convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form, ammonia, that plants can absorb and use. Which of the following is a primary source of carbon in marine ecosystems like coral reefs? A. Zooplankton. B. Phytoplankton. C. Fish. D. Seaweed. The correct answer is B. Phytoplankton are a primary source of carbon in marine ecosystems like coral reefs, as they use photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide into organic compounds, forming the base of the food chain. What is the term for the process by which phosphorus is released from decaying plant and animal matter in the soil? A. Mineralization. B. Volcanism. C. Weathering. D. Erosion. The correct answer is A. Mineralization is the process by which phosphorus is released from decaying organic matter in the soil, making it available for plants and other organisms to use. Which of the following is a key aspect of energy flow in ecosystems that explains why energy transfer between trophic levels is inefficient? A. Loss of heat energy. B. Increased productivity. C. Enhanced nutrient cycling. D. Greater energy conversion efficiency. The correct answer is A. One key aspect of energy flow in ecosystems is the loss of energy as heat at each trophic level. This contributes to the inefficiency of energy transfer between organisms. What is the trophic level of an organism that mainly eats primary consumers in a food chain called? A. Secondary producer. B. Secondary consumer. C. Tertiary producer. D. Quaternary consumer. The correct answer is B. A secondary consumer is an organism that mainly eats primary consumers in a food chain. It's in the trophic level after the primary consumers. Which of the following is a major storage reservoir of phosphorus in the phosphorus cycle? A. Atmosphere. B. Rocks. C. Ocean water. D. Groundwater. The correct answer is B. Rocks are a major storage reservoir of phosphorus in the phosphorus cycle, as phosphorus is gradually released from rocks into the soil and water through weathering processes. What term describes phosphorus moving from soil and water into plants, then to herbivores, and finally carnivores? A. Phosphorus assimilation. B. Phosphorus fixation. C. Phosphorus mineralization. D. Phosphorus translocation. The correct answer is A. Phosphorus assimilation is the movement of phosphorus from soil and water into plants, then into herbivores, and finally into carnivores. This shows how phosphorus flows through different levels of the ecosystem. In an ecosystem, what's the term for how nutrients from dead organisms get back into the soil to be used again? A. Nutrient deposition. B. Nutrient immobilization. C. Nutrient cycling. D. Nutrient leaching. The correct answer is C. Nutrient cycling is the process by which nutrients are released from dead organisms and organic matter and returned to the soil for reuse by living organisms, contributing to the overall health and sustainability of the ecosystem. What is the role of mycorrhizal fungi in nutrient cycling within an ecosystem? A. Breaking down dead plant and animal matter. B. Fixing atmospheric nitrogen for plants. C. Facilitating nutrient absorption for plants. D. Producing oxygen through photosynthesis. The correct answer is C. Mycorrhizal fungi play a crucial role in nutrient cycling. They form symbiotic relationships with plant roots. This enhances nutrient absorption, particularly phosphorus and nitrogen. This helps plant growth and overall ecosystem productivity. Which of the following processes contributes to nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems by converting nitrates into nitrogen gas, released back into the atmosphere? A. Denitrification. B. Ammonification. C. Nitrification. D. Assimilation. The correct answer is A. Denitrification is a process that contributes to nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems. It converts nitrates into nitrogen gas. This gas is then released back into the atmosphere, completing the nitrogen cycle and reducing nitrogen availability in the ecosystem. What is the term for the process by which carbon is stored in soils for long periods, reducing atmospheric carbon dioxide and mitigating climate change? A. Carbon sequestration. B. Carbon fixation. C. Carbon assimilation. D. Carbon recycling. The correct answer is A. Carbon sequestration is the process by which carbon is stored in soils for extended periods, reducing carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere and mitigating climate change by acting as a carbon sink. Which of the following is an example of a biogeochemical cycle that primarily involves the movement of sulfur through different reservoirs on Earth? A. Nitrogen cycle. B. Water cycle. C. Sulfur cycle. D. Carbon cycle. The correct answer is C. The sulfur cycle is a biogeochemical cycle moving sulfur through Earth's reservoirs. These include the atmosphere, land, and water. This influences sulfur availability for life and ecosystem processes. What's the term for how nitrogen-fixing bacteria in legume plant root nodules turn atmospheric nitrogen gas into usable ammonia? A. Nitrification. B. Nitrogen assimilation. C. Nitrogen fixation. D. Nitrogen leaching. The correct answer is C. Nitrogen fixation is the process by which nitrogen-fixing bacteria, in root nodules of leguminous plants, convert nitrogen gas from the atmosphere into ammonia. This provides plants with a usable form of nitrogen for growth and development. How does phosphorus primarily enter terrestrial ecosystems? A. Through volcanic eruptions. B. Through weathering of rocks. C. Through atmospheric deposition. D. Through runoff from agricultural activities. The correct answer is B. Phosphorus primarily enters terrestrial ecosystems through the weathering of rocks, where it's released into the soil. Which of the following is a key driver of the sulfur cycle? A. Volcanic activity. B. Photosynthesis. C. Nitrogen fixation. D. Decomposition of organic matter. The correct answer is A. Volcanic activity is a key driver of the sulfur cycle, releasing sulfur compounds into the atmosphere. How do nitrogen-fixing bacteria contribute to nutrient cycling in ecosystems? A. By converting atmospheric nitrogen into a form plants can use. B. By breaking down organic matter into simpler compounds. C. By consuming primary producers and releasing nutrients. D. By regulating water flow in the ecosystem. The correct answer is A. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria play a crucial role in nutrient cycling by converting atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can absorb and utilize. Which of the following best describes the role of lichens in nutrient cycling within an ecosystem? A. Primary producers that convert sunlight into energy. B. Decomposers that break down organic matter. C. Pioneer species that colonize barren environments. D. Secondary consumers that feed on primary producers. The correct answer is C. Lichens are pioneer species that play a vital role in nutrient cycling by colonizing barren environments and initiating the process of ecological succession. How do biotic factors contribute to nutrient cycling in an ecosystem? A. By recycling nutrients through living organisms. B. By altering the physical structure of the ecosystem. C. By influencing climate patterns and weather events. D. By promoting erosion and sedimentation processes. The correct answer is A. Biotic factors, such as plants, animals, and microorganisms, play a crucial role in nutrient cycling. They recycle nutrients through living organisms and maintain the balance of essential elements within the ecosystem. Which of the following is a key process in the sulfur cycle that involves the release of sulfur compounds into the atmosphere? A. Assimilation. B. Weathering. C. Sulfur oxidation. D. Volcanic emissions. The correct answer is D. Volcanic emissions are a key process in the sulfur cycle, releasing sulfur compounds into the atmosphere and influencing global sulfur distribution. Which of the following is a key aspect of nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems that differentiates it from terrestrial ecosystems? A. High evaporation rates leading to nutrient concentration. B. Limited movement of nutrients due to water flow. C. Increased role of detritus-based food chains. D. Direct release of nutrients into the atmosphere. The correct answer is C. One key aspect of nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems is the increased importance of detritus-based food chains, where decomposers play a significant role in recycling nutrients from dead organic matter. How do nitrogen-fixing plants contribute to nutrient cycling in ecosystems? A. By predating on herbivores and regulating their populations. B. By providing essential nutrients to soil microorganisms. C. By converting atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for plants. D. By facilitating the absorption of phosphorus by root systems. The correct answer is C. Nitrogen-fixing plants play a crucial role in nutrient cycling. They form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria. These bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form plants can absorb and utilize. Which of the following is a key process in the sulfur cycle that involves the formation of sulfate compounds in marine ecosystems? A. Sulfur assimilation. B. Sulfur oxidation. C. Sulfur reduction. D. Sulfur mineralization. The correct answer is B. Sulfur oxidation is a key process in the sulfur cycle. Sulfur compounds are converted into sulfate ions. These ions are essential for marine organisms and contribute to marine nutrient cycling. In nutrient cycling, what process converts nitrate or nitrite back into nitrogen gas, released into the atmosphere? A. Denitrification. B. Assimilation. C. Nitrification. D. Nitrogen fixation. The correct answer is A. Denitrification is the process by which certain bacteria convert nitrates or nitrites back into atmospheric nitrogen, completing the nitrogen cycle loop.